What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well today. I know I am. That cold is disappearing. Thank God. To all my new supporters joining us, welcome to the family. I hope you all enjoyed this video today just as much as myself. Before we jump right into it, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reaction videos. Now let's jump right into it. Today I will be checking out Trump turned Quebecers into Canadians. You see, another thing about this is, I heard Quebecers do not call themselves Canadians. Now, I know Quebec has its own culture and everything, but I didn't know that it ran this deep. So today, I am very curious in checking out this video. Everyone, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on. Let's jump right into it.
If you are a regular on my channel, you probably noticed that I tend to stay away from very political subjects. Reasons are simple. One, because I don't like to divide and polarize, and two, foremost, because I don't like to talk about things that I don't fully understand, that I don't have a lot of knowledge on.
I respect that. I respect that a lot. Unlike me, I'm diving in it all. Political and everything. We diving in it all.
And I am far from being an expert in politics. But we are currently experiencing a very interesting phenomenon.
Yeah.
Something that I have never witnessed in almost 40 years living here in Quebec. And I'm talking about that wind of nationalism that is blowing across Canada. And for once, it seems to leave nobody out, even us here in Quebec.
Oh.
I thought it would be interesting to talk to you guys about my experience, not as a political expert, but as a mere observer of that new, peculiar, interesting phenomenon that's happening. So here we go.
All right, here we go.
If you are new here, my name is Geneviève, and on this channel I teach you all there is to know about Quebec language and culture, so if you're into that, make sure to subscribe. While editing this video, I noticed that my English is particularly out of shape, and I hesitate and mispronounce a lot of words, and I forget my plural S's, so I just want to apologize, which is a very...
Ain't no need to apologize. What you apologizing for? You don't gotta apologize to us.
Canadian thing to do, eh? Okay, where to start? I don't know if you already saw my previous video about Quebec's identity. It's one of my first videos ever and one of the most popular ones. The video is in French, but there are English subtitles. So basically, I explain why a lot of Quebecers don't feel Canadian, don't identify as Canadians. Even though...
You see what I mean? I knew I wasn't going crazy. I mean, I read up on this topic. And a lot of people have been saying, I'm from Quebec, man. I don't identify as Canadian. Oh, all right. Okay. Seems that my former Quebecers had been leaving themselves out. But like I said, Quebec, they got their own culture and everything going on. Why would they identify as Canadian? I can't really answer that question, though.
Traditionally, the Quebec-Canada dynamic has been kind of, I don't know, not always smooth sailing, let's put it that way. The recent declaration of Donald Trump, the one on the border tariffs and the one like indexing Canada as the 51st state, has had a lot of interesting consequences on our side, on the north side of the border. For the first time in my life, I noticed a very strong nationalistic, even patriotic feeling arise from coast to coast here in Canada.
Oh.
I was speaking with a good friend of mine yesterday. He's a bit older. He's been around like almost 20 years, longer than me. And we were talking about how generally Canadians are not the most patriotic people. They're not as much keen to flag waving or public displaying of their national pride.
No. I don't know how true that is. Like I said, around the corner, I'll go knock on their door right now. I knock on their door right now. I got some fellow Canadians that live around the corner from me and up the street. I seen another one the other day. It was an area that I'm not really too familiar with. Well, a neighborhood that I'm not really too familiar with. I decided to be nosy and drive up in there because that flagpole was really high. And I was like, Brendan, what? I don't see no blue. I don't see no stars. Is that the Canadian flag? So I had to go and follow it. Me being weird, I had to go and follow it and see where that flag was being raised from. And here we are, man. I got some fellow Canadians living around me in my area. I really want to knock on their doors. It seems like they're taking a lot of pride in their country, or is that only because they live in the United States right now, and despite all the issues we have going on right now, they are rooting for their country. They are standing strong and showing pride in their nation. Nothing wrong with that, but there are a few of them flag waving. Yes, on vehicles and everything. They're wearing t-shirts and everything. Now, I don't know if that's, despite all the issues going on now with the tariffs and the war with Canada against Trump. But hey, they are definitely delivering a message. I don't know if the rest of the Americans truly understand. Maybe they're just like, oh, they're maybe a tourist or something. No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, my friends.
Never as much as our southern neighbor, anyway. And that is especially true here in Quebec, where, as I mentioned before, the French-speaking Quebecers are most likely to identify as Quebecer before Canadian.
Oh, okay.
If at all. But even here, since those shocking declaration from Donald Trump, we've been noticing that patriotic Canadian pride take over people. It's really unbelievable. Suddenly, you're in a grocery store and you see that elderly lady wondering in French, reading the label on the mustard pot, was this made in Canada? If not, I'm not even buying it. Personally, I first came to realize that there was something going on when I randomly came across some posts. It's getting serious when Quebecers start feeling patriotic towards Canada. And
wait, so my fellow Quebecers, you guys weren't aware of this whole situation between, the Canada versus the United States of America? You guys weren't aware of the tariff situations? Oh, of course you were aware of the tariff situations, but should I say the beef between Canada and the United States? Because like she just said, you guys are out the way. You are your own people over there in Quebec. You don't even identify as Canadian. But it seems that Canada's patriotism is taking over and it's spreading all over. And the Quebecers are getting a feel for that. Everybody's coming together against us. Trump? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, even the Quebecers, they about to join Canada's side. They all gonna team up together.
And it struck me, I was like, that is true. I've been hearing more and more of those Canadian pride topics. Suddenly we see all sort of posts coming up on social media. I'm an old lady who voted yes 2 times, but when Orange Buffoon tried to steal my country, this old lady is mad and I am Canadian and like we say in French, ôte-toi de mon chemin, madame. Get out of my way, old man. Montreal guy here, born and bred, he made Quebecers patriotic. Do you know to what degree you need to piss off a Quebecer to make them stand up for Canada? The anger and disgust is palpable. It's everywhere. I really like that one, reference to Simpson scene.
Back, you robot! Nobody ruins my family vacation but me! And maybe the boy!
So
wait, what Quebecers got against Canadians, though?
You can see the direct reference to the 2 referendums held for Quebec sovereignty, one in 1980 and one in 1995. And the reference to the boy ruining the vacation would be the separatist feeling that exists in Alberta as well. But that's crazy. I've heard lifelong separatists, really strong believers that Quebec should be its own country, start to feel that patriotic feeling towards Canada. It is really mind-blowing. And for me, the person who said it best is that guy on Reddit. I've always identified first and foremost as Québécois. Our culture, our history, our language, it's what defines us. Being Canadian always felt more like an administrative label than something I deeply connected with. But for the first time in my life, I actually feel Canadian. There's something about the current economy war that has erased the usual division and made me see the bigger picture. It's not about erasing our differences, it's about recognizing that we share something deeper. Maybe it's just me getting older, or maybe something has changed, but for the first time, I truly feel a sense of unity across provinces, cultures, and languages. We're all in this together. Any other Québécois ever felt this way? Or other Canadians? Have you ever had a moment where you felt your national identity click in a way it didn't before? I'm going to leave the link to that post in the description.
I read something similar on Reddit. That's where I began some of the information from. And from my comment section, I'll be reading on. I'll be like, I wonder if everyone feels this way now. I wasn't aware that Quebecers did not identify as Canadian, nor did they want anything to do with Canada. Or should I say Canadians? Or being compared to Canadians. Is it because you speak French? Or no, that has nothing to do with it. Because look, I know some people may tend to think that they are probably better than Canadians because they speak French as well. They are bilingual. So they're like, don't compare me to Canadians. Canadians cannot speak French, okay? Quebecers can. We can speak English and French. They're not like us. Or maybe I'm just thinking about this in the wrong way. But that's the only way I could see Quebecers saying, yeah, don't compare me to them. It's because of that.
And it's really heartwarming to read the responses from other Quebecers that feel the same, or other Canadians that embrace Quebec as being part of an important part of Canada. It's not that people from Quebec have something against Canada. I'll speak for myself. I have absolutely nothing against Canada. It's just that I never felt Canadian. It was always some other identity. It felt alien to me, Visiting Ontario, I felt in another country, literally. But there really seems to have a shift happening, and it
has to be the language then. It's gotta be. Somebody please clarify me in the comments down below. I could be wrong, like I said.
Fascinating to notice, to witness. Obviously, I'm not saying that absolutely everybody in Quebec is feeling that kind of identity switch. There are fierce separatists that will always stay on their positions, like journalist and radio host Sophie Durocher. But my point here is, for her to write that article is another proof that there is something happening, that the movement is real, It's a bit sad that it took that concrete threat to make that shift happening. I'm using the quotation mark because I really doubt that the US would invade Canada. But anyway, those declarations really shook off the whole country, that's for sure.
See, man, you see where that comment led us to, Trump? You see where that comment got us? Canada will be the 51st state. Oh, you done got the Quebecers teaming up with the Canadians now. Joining together. As a fellow Quebecer, am I saying this right? A fellow Quebecer? As a fellow Quebecer, do you guys feel some type of connection with Canada now, considering everything that's going on? Is this allowing you guys to become more closer as a nation, rather than separating yourselves in your identity? Please let me know in the comments down below.
I'm curious, fellow Québécois, do you feel as well that kind of new
fellow Quebecois, because it said it in a Reddit post too. Fellow Quebecois, am I saying that right? It said as a Quebecers. Am I saying that right? And then it said I identify as a Quebecois. ... So maybe I'm saying the wrong term, Quebecers. I don't want to sound foolish, guys, and I don't want to sound ignorant. Oh, I need some clarification, man.
Sense of Canadian identity awakening fellow Canadians, how do you perceive that newly found Canadianity in Quebecers? And if you are a neo-Canadian, an immigrant living in Quebec or elsewhere in Canada, how do you perceive all this? Does it change your sense of identity? Or I'm really curious, so let me know
Me
in the
too.
comments what you think about this issue.
Oh, yes. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think about this issue. And as a fellow Quebecers, am I saying that right? Please let me know. How do you feel? Do you feel that Quebec is still kind of separated from Canada? Or do you feel that you guys are kind of communing together now and becoming a whole? And I believe it's really based on personal preference as well. Because like she just said, she doesn't have any issues with Canadians. She just feels that when she visits Ottawa, it feels like she's in another country. So, I mean, that's kind of a hint that Quebecers kind of feel separated from the Canadian patriotism. But, I mean, it could be based on personal preferences, like she said. And not everybody from Quebec feels this way. It could be split 50-50. Yeah, it could be split. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today to watch this amazing video about Trump turning Quebecers into Canadians. If you guys enjoyed this video just as much as myself, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reaction videos. Feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link down below in my description if you would like to recommend some more of these phenomenal videos for me, myself, to react to. And don't be shy. Feel free to add your name down below under the recommendation link so that I could shout you out for recommending such an amazing video if you feel like it, if you are comfortable with it. And feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members. Whoever you feel may be interested in joining the family on a daily basis to check out some of these intriguing videos. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today on this beautiful day. It's getting nice outside, ain't it? I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay safe.